And I heard that somebody was having a party or something. Somebody.
Yeah, I believe these dudes. What are they
These two
named?
bald dudes.
What
And they on a radio station. They got some kind of show or something.
Yeah, the cats from Heat 100, man.
There you
What
go.
is the name of their show again?
Is something rapping sports.
Rapping.
Sports and rapping.
SportsRap.
There you go.
SportsRap.
So there you have it, folks. It's us. We just having some fun with you guys this morning. It's us, myself, your boy Baldy, and the missus will more than likely be in the building because she's a football fanatic. Shout out to the missus today. She's not with us today, but shout out to her for always being with us in spirit. So getting back to that Super Bowl party, 2 weeks, 7165 Lounge. Be there. We gonna have probably some drink specials. I'm sure we gonna have one or maybe two if we can squeeze it in, if possible, a 50-50 raffle. And you can get together with your SportsRap crew. Bring your friends. I can't say bring all the family because it's at a bar, so can't bring the kids. But bring your friends. Bring some of your family. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with other members of the Heat 100 family, and just have a good time.
And did we mention it was free?
Free.
Oh, okay. Free. Just make sure you download.
You gotta download
the app.
And that means you have to have it when you pull up. Come into the door. We don't want you, football pun intended. We don't want you fumbling with your phone at the door trying to get the app downloaded. It's very simple. It's very easy. We are on iOS, the iPhone, Google Play Store. I mean, you can bring it. If you don't have a phone like that and all you got is a tablet, you can bring your tablet and download it on your tablet because it works.
You download everything else.
Just download
that so you can.
You have to show us that you're done. Like we said, we not going to have no nonsense with you fumbling at the door.
You better sit in your car and do it.
That's right. You better double check before you get out. Again, that's 7165 Lounge. 7165 Germantown Avenue, 7165 Lounge. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, that are considering yourselves old school and want to stay old school, it is the old North by Northwest. You know where that is, Germantown Ave. So again, February the 5th, Super Bowl party. More details coming, so you got to listen in. You got to stay tuned on social media and everything like that. Now, we had two NFC championships. Well, not NFC, but 2 NFL championships yesterday. I can't sit here and say if I can call both of them games because that first one, man.
It was a lashing. It was a lashing.
As they said, shellacking.
Green Bay got shellacked.
Yes, they did.
I did not see that coming. I thought it would be a tighter game.
Green Bay was my sleeper team.
Yes, they were. I was going to bring that up, but I was.
They got put to sleep. They was my sleeper team. I admit it. But
and Atlanta shocked me.
Atlanta
did shock me, and I said the only thing that would kind of keep them in the game would be running the ball, but Julio Jones went cold bananas on them.
Listen,
and that changed the game.
And my wife was watching the game at work, right? And Julio Jones had a play. I think it was that long touchdown run that he broke off. And, she's a football fan, but she's an Eagles fan. And, she'll watch football, but she's not into it. Like, she'll ask the question, like, who's number 11? She did that at work, and one of her coworkers told her who it was. And she was like, wow, this dude is a beast.
Animal.
Crazy.
He went crazy on him.
Crazy. I mean, but that one run, that long touchdown run, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that he's going to get stopped. Somebody's going, as they always do. Somebody, not always, but a lot of times somebody gets a nice edge, gets that angle, either a shoestring tackle or they get enough push on him, for him to stumble out of bounds. Didn't happen yesterday.
Nah.
Now, again, that game was a complete shellacking from start to finish. Start to finish. I knew Atlanta's offense was pretty good, and I knew they would have their moments because of like the Eagles game when they played the Eagles. I mean, unfortunately, they lost that game to the Eagles, but their offense at that time, and Julio Jones didn't have a big game against the Eagles,
right.
So it just gave you the signs that, oh, they got some other pieces over there that somewhere down the line you're going to have to look out for. You're going to have to watch out for. But I want to get to talking about that defense because, like I said, we all knew what the offense was and what it could be. Now, that defense, the past 2 weeks, has played like a number one defense in the NFL.
They came out and balled, man. Like I said, they shocked me, man.
I was thoroughly surprised last week. But this week, yesterday, solidified a lot. And surprising thing is the mainstays on that defense right now are 1 year, first year, and second year players. So
they got a young team, man.
It's a little scary because that just means that defense is going to be very good for a long time.
And they got a heck of a system. You know how they always say, you know, if you get guys to buy into your system, you can find out exactly what you really need on defense to become successful or on offense to become successful. I just don't think that a lot of teams have figured out their formula yet. A lot of them, including us. Like Kyle Shanahan, hey, listen, brother, don't worry about it. As soon as this next game over, you'll be signing as a 49ers new head coach. But again,
and you know that
we can sign the best coaches ever. If you don't have the ingredients, it doesn't matter.
I was just gonna say that. You know, I was saying, and I mentioned the defense. I gave the defense their kudos, which is very well warranted. But what happens after the Super Bowl? And we know it's a big coaching carousel this year. Like you just said, Kyle Shanahan. Now, the defense has made a name for itself 2 weeks. Well, they made a name for themselves going into the playoffs, tail end of the season. But really solidified that the last 2 weeks. Now, it will really take them over the top, so to speak, if they have another turnout.
The way they did.
Half as much as they did the past 2 weeks. So, of course, defensive coordinator is going to get some looks.
True.
Now becomes the problem with, do you let him talk to people or do you let him field those interviews and field those phone calls and see what happens because somebody's going to offer him a nice little piece of money. And
it's going to happen. I'm mad. I'm happy and I'm mad. I'm happy that Atlanta got a chance to get past this hump of the NFC Championship and get back to the chip, which they haven't done since the Dirty Birds was.
Yeah,
and
it's been a while.
Yeah, and I'm mad because had they lost, we would have a chance to talk to them. But because they won, we can't rap to them.
Can't talk yet.
And the numbers are going to be different. You know what I'm saying? The numbers are going to be slightly different because he's still winning. He's still operating. There's still that you get another chance to see what he does offensively with the talent that he has, and other coaches are watching.
Yeah.
So it vies for more competition where we feel like we can have that little slide. I believe most of the head coaching vacancies have been locked in, except for us.
Yeah.
We may be 49ers may be the last team that does not have a coach.
Surprisingly, it's been moving pretty quickly.
It has been.
It's been moving pretty quick. I mean, a lot quicker than I expected because, you know, usually it's that same situation like you just mentioned. Teams want to talk to people, but they have to wait because teams advance in the playoffs and then they move on and, you know. But in that whole mix-up, one of the things I like that the Eagles did was they held on. They're going to hold on to one of their coaches. They didn't allow somebody that wanted to talk to one of their coaches and they refused, you know, them to talk, which is a good thing and which shows me that they're finally starting to get on the right track, so to speak. Where before it would just be like, all right, you can talk to them, but then we're going to, you know, and then you lose people that way and people lose faith and people start really having second thoughts about being out there in that realm, you know, not so much free agency for the coaches, but being able to like, oh, you just gonna let me talk to anybody?
Right.
And this is how you feel? All right. So then it becomes that thing like Darrell Reeves used to say, whoever gives me the most money.
Right,
That's
right.
where I'm signing.
It becomes a bidding war.
You know, and the bidding wars become very crazy, you know, especially at that realm with that type of money, those amounts of money involved. But again, all the stuff that I just said is no disrespect to Atlanta if there are any Atlanta Falcons fans listening. I was, again, thoroughly impressed another week in a row. And I don't know. It could be because I want to see some new blood.
True.
But I'm behind the Atlanta Falcons. That's my pick. I'm picking the upset. You know, and I say that because I was talking to people the other day, and you know, I said the Patriots just, in my opinion, just get a little bit too much credit. Like, I understand what they're doing for their time, all fine and well, but this is not the beginning of football. It's not the first time. This has been done before, you know, and maybe the numbers are a lot different. The numbers now are a little bit staggering or whatever, or what have you. But there have been teams that have been dominant before, and we kind of mentioned this a little bit last week.
We did.
There are teams that have been dominant in these types of ways, and I don't know. It's just me, just my opinion, folks. I just feel like they get too much.
Well,
credit.
they are considered the dynasty team of this era of the 2000s. From the beginning of the 2000s, they pretty much been in the mix.
Right.
They are literally the 49ers of the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
How the 49ers went like 20 years. They went like 20 years without having under a 10-win season.
Right.
You know, granted, our division wasn't good. Our division was considered a bad division, but we got 5 championships out of that division. We got a lot of NFC championships out of that division.
Right.
They are the new 49ers, and the 49ers were the new Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were the new Dallas Cowboys. It all trickles back. But like you said, the numbers may be a little more staggering for them. In this era.
Yeah.
And this era is a lot softer.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is. I mean,
it's marked on the curve.
Yeah, you know, we always
it's graded on the curve.
We always have a curve, you know, and that's the one thing I think that I really like about us together as a team. We always find that loop, that curve, and we can come back to that curve. It's always there.
There's always something there.
A lot of people don't want to admit it. I guess don't research it enough, whatever. But it's always a curve in there. And if you listen to us in the past, you know we always find it, and we always point it out to you so that you are in the know. Now, Matty Ice, Aaron Rodgers. I'm watching TV, and a lot of people are picking Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback they would want in this particular game. At the time, it's no issues with that because of the way he was playing, the way he has been playing throughout his career, especially the tail end of this season and the first couple games in the playoffs. But yesterday, and I understand the Green Bay's secondary was pretty much depleted.
Pretty much all season.
Yeah, they pretty much all season. They had injuries on the offense as well. But you could kind of say that they overachieved somewhat to get to the NFC Championship game. But watching the little bits and pieces and moments of that game that I watched, because it was a blowout from start to finish, and I couldn't really sit there and watch it heavily like I really wanted to. But watching what I saw, watching the things that I did, seeing the things that I did see, I saw a lot in Matty Ice that reiterated stuff that I knew. Some of the stuff got amplified by watching him yesterday. He was calm in the pocket, steady in the pocket. He didn't break.
Oh yeah, he
didn't break. I mean, he played.
You get your
probably one of the best
reason.
Games that you could have. Yeah,
you get your
yesterday
nickname for a
he
reason.
really earned his nickname.
And you know, I looked at him like he was surgical with it. He knew exactly what he wanted. He took what the defense gave him. He picked them apart. It wasn't really much that they could do. They set, and he just picked them apart.
So could we say that Page, the clipboard, whatever was flipped? Because what you just said
Mm-hmm.
is the exact same thing that Aaron Rodgers does all the time.